Have you ever felt like people treat you differently as you get older? Maybe you've noticed that some friends have drifted away, family members seem less patient, or even strangers aren't as friendly as they once were. It's a frustrating, even painful experience to feel like you're being slowly pushed aside, especially when you know deep down that you still have so much to offer. But here's something important to consider. What if some of that change isn't just about them? It's also about you. In today's video, we're going to talk about 6 behaviors that can unintentionally push people away after the age of 70. These are often subtle habits or attitudes that develop over time, but they can create emotional distance between you and the people who matter most. The good news, once you're aware of these patterns, you can shift them. You can strengthen your relationships and continue being someone others enjoy spending time with. Someone who brings warmth, wisdom, and joy into every interaction. So stay with me until the end, because understanding these 6 things could truly change how others see you, how they respond to you, and how much love, respect, and connection you continue to experience as you age. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about making sure that the best version of you is what people remember and cherish. 1. Becoming too negative about everything. One of the quickest ways to unintentionally push people away is through constant negativity. Let's face it, by the time you reach your 70s, you've experienced a lot. Health issues, financial concerns, disappointments with family, or frustration with society. It's all real. And it all matters. But here's the catch. When every conversation turns into a list of complaints or what's wrong with the world, people begin to pull away. Negativity doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. If your visits with your children always turn into rants about modern life, or every chat with a friend becomes a rundown of what's gone wrong lately, people may start to associate time with you as emotionally draining. And it's not because they don't care. It's because no one likes to leave a conversation feeling worse than when they came in. So, what can you do instead? Pay attention to how you start your conversations. If you catch yourself leading with complaints, pause and ask yourself, is this the energy I want to bring into this moment? Try shifting the conversation to something neutral or even uplifting. Share a funny story, an interesting observation, or a heartfelt compliment. These small changes can transform the atmosphere of your interactions. Remember, people don't avoid you because your experiences aren't valid. They avoid you when they leave conversations feeling emotionally drained. A little self-awareness can go a long way in keeping your relationships positive and fulfilling. 2. Giving unwanted advice or criticism. With age comes wisdom. You've seen life from all angles, watched fads come and go, seen people make mistakes, and learned lessons the hard way. Naturally, you want to help others avoid the same pitfalls. But here's where it gets tricky. If advice isn't asked for, it can often feel like judgment instead of help. This is especially true with younger family members. When you try to correct how your adult children manage money, raise their kids, or live their lives, even with the best intentions, it can come across as criticism. And it doesn't just happen with family. Telling a friend they should eat better, stop wasting money, or get out more may feel like you're helping. But to them, it might feel like you're pointing out what's wrong with them. No one likes to feel like they're being constantly corrected. And if people associate conversations with you as a series of critiques, they'll slowly start to avoid those conversations altogether. So how can you offer your wisdom in a way that helps, not harms? Simple. Ask before advising. Instead of saying, "You really shouldn't be eating that," try, "Would you be open to a few tips I've learned about healthy eating?" If they say yes, share away. If they say no, respect that. This tiny shift shows that you value their independence and aren't trying to control them. When you offer guidance gently and respectfully, you become someone they can turn to, almost not someone they want to avoid. Quick note: if you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, type number 2 in the comments below to let me know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos that help you stay informed, empowered, and connected. 3. Refusing to adapt to change. Let's be honest. The world has changed, and it's changing faster than ever. One of the most common relationship mistakes people make as they age is resisting those changes. You've lived through decades of tradition, stability, and familiar ways of doing things. It's completely natural to feel that the old ways were better. But when you dismiss or fight modern changes, it can make others feel like spending time with you is more stressful than enjoyable. This resistance shows up in small but powerful ways. Maybe you say things like, "Everything was better back in the day," whenever a younger person shares something they enjoy. Maybe you criticize technology, even though it's how people communicate now. Or maybe you struggle with shifting social norms and have trouble relating to new generations. But here's the reality. Change is happening, with or without you. If you choose to stay rigid, people won't know how to include you. For example, your grandkids might prefer texting over calling. Your friends might organize get-togethers on social media instead of making phone calls. And if you don't engage with these tools, you might unintentionally isolate yourself. So what should you do? Stay curious. You don't have to love every new app or trend, but a willingness to learn and adapt makes you more approachable. Instead of saying, "That's stupid, I don't get it," try saying, "That's interesting. Can you show me how it works?" Bottom line, people don't expect you to embrace every change. They just appreciate when you stay open instead of dismissive. Adaptability keeps your mind sharp, your relationships strong, and your place in the world secure. You might have noticed some friends drifting away, family members becoming less patient, or even strangers seeming less friendly than they used to be. It can be frustrating, even painful, to feel like you're being pushed aside, especially when you know you still have so much to offer. But what if I told you that some of this isn't just about them, but might also be about you? In this video, we're going to talk about 6 common habits that can cause people to quietly resent you after 70. These are subtle behaviors and attitudes that can, over time, create distance between you and the people you care about. But here's the good news. Once you recognize these patterns, you can change them. You can strengthen your relationships and continue being someone others genuinely enjoy being around. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these 6 things could make all the difference in how people see you, interact with you, and how much love and respect you continue to receive as you age. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about making sure that the best version of you is what others remember. Let's get started. Number 1. Becoming too negative about everything. One of the fastest ways to push people away, often without realizing it, is through constant negativity. By the time you reach your 70s, you've likely faced plenty of hardships, health issues, financial stress, family disappointments. It's all valid. It all matters. But when every conversation turns into a list of complaints, people eventually stop wanting to listen. Negativity doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. If every visit with your kids becomes a rant about how bad the world is, or if every chat with a friend becomes a session about how much you dislike modern life, people begin to associate your presence with frustration instead of joy. It's not that your feelings aren't valid. It's just that focusing only on what's wrong can leave others feeling drained. And over time, they may start avoiding those interactions altogether. So what can you do instead? Pay attention to your words. If you notice yourself leading with complaints, pause and ask yourself, is this the kind of energy I want to bring into this conversation? Try shifting focus to something neutral or positive. A funny story, an interesting fact, or a sincere compliment can instantly brighten a conversation. Bottom line, people don't avoid you because they don't care. They avoid you because they don't want to feel worse after talking to you. A little self-awareness goes a long way. Number 2, giving unwanted advice or criticism. As we age, we gain wisdom from decades of life experience. Naturally, we want to share it. But if your advice isn't asked for, it can often come across as criticism, not care. This is especially true with younger family members. Maybe you see your adult children or grandchildren making what you feel are clear mistakes. And when you step in, no matter how lovingly, it often feels to them like they're being judged, not guided. It's not just with family either. Telling a friend to eat better, save more money, or go out more might feel helpful to you, but it might feel like a lecture to them. So what should you do instead? Wait until you're asked. If someone wants your advice, they'll ask for it. And if they don't, it's often best to let them figure things out on their own. Try asking before advising, instead of saying, "You really shouldn't eat that." Say, "Would you like to hear some tips I've learned about healthy eating?" If they say yes, share. If not, let it go. Bottom line, people aren't avoiding your advice because they don't love you. They're avoiding it because they don't want to feel judged. When you offer guidance respectfully, you become a trusted voice, not a source of frustration. Still watching and finding value? Comment number 2 below, so we know you're here. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss future videos. Number 3, refusing to adapt to change. The world is always changing. And one of the biggest relationship mistakes we can make as we age is refusing to adapt. You might prefer how things used to be. You might not understand the appeal of new technology or feel confused by shifting social norms. That's normal. But if you constantly dismiss modern life or always say, "Things were better back then," people may start avoiding those conversations. Younger people especially may feel like you're not interested in their world. And even peers may feel drained if every conversation becomes a complaint about kids these days or how nothing makes sense anymore. So what should you do instead? Stay curious. You don't have to love every trend, but a willingness to listen and learn makes you more engaging and easier to connect with. Instead of saying "that's stupid" or "I don't get it," try saying "that's interesting, tell me more." Bottom line, you don't have to embrace every change. But when you show openness instead of resistance, people feel more comfortable sharing their lives with you. Number 4, expecting too much from others without giving back. As we get older, we may start relying more on others for help, for visits, for emotional support, and that's okay. But problems start when those expectations are one-sided. Maybe you expect your children or grandchildren to call or visit without appreciating their efforts, or you regularly lean on a friend for support, but rarely ask how they're doing. Maybe you believe others should drop everything to help you, because that's what family does. But here's the truth. People don't mind helping. When they feel valued, when they feel taken for granted, they begin to withdraw. So what should you do instead? Check in with yourself. Are you mostly receiving without giving? If so, find small ways to contribute. Express gratitude. Remember birthdays. Ask thoughtful questions Even a kind word can go a long way. Bottom line, people are happy to be there for you when they feel respected and appreciated. A little effort to give back, even in small ways, keeps relationships strong. Still here? Comment number 4 to let us know. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on these insights. Number 5. Bringing up the past. Too often memories are powerful. But when every conversation circles back to the same stories, it can make others feel like you're stuck in the past and not present with them today. You might love reminiscing. It can be comforting. But if your grandkids always hear, "Back in my day," or "You don't know how hard it used to be," they may feel like you're dismissing their own experiences. Even friends your age might get tired of the same stories repeated too often. And when that happens, conversations can feel less engaging, and people may pull away. So what should you do instead? Balance old memories with new curiosity. Share your past, but also ask others about their present. Show interest in what's happening now. And be open to creating new experiences, not just reliving old ones. Bottom line, people want to feel connected to you today, not just to who you were. When you show interest in the present, relationships grow deeper. Number 6. Not respecting boundaries and personal space. One of the most common and most damaging habits that can emerge with age is the assumption that your needs or presence should always come first. Maybe you expect family to answer the phone every time you call, or feel hurt if they don't. Maybe you drop by unannounced, or ask personal questions that others aren't comfortable answering. Or maybe you frequently share your emotions without considering how it affects the other person. Everyone needs boundaries, no matter how close the relationship. When people feel like those boundaries aren't respected, they start to withdraw, not out of cruelty, but out of self-preservation. So what should you do instead? Be mindful. If someone seems distant, ask yourself if you're giving them space. If they set a boundary about visits, topics, or time, honor it. Don't take it personally. Respect builds trust. Bottom line, strong relationships are built on mutual respect. When people feel their space is valued, they're more likely to keep you close. Final thoughts: getting older doesn't mean losing the people around you. But sometimes, certain habits can quietly push them away. The good news: awareness changes everything. We've talked about 6 patterns: constant negativity, unwanted advice, refusing to adapt, expecting too much, living in the past, disregarding boundaries. Each one, if left unchecked, can damage relationships. But once recognized, each one can be changed. Key takeaway: relationships thrive on respect, appreciation, and balance. When you bring warmth and curiosity into your connections, people naturally want to be around you, at any age. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 points stood out the most to you? Have you ever noticed someone pulling away, and now you understand why? Leave a comment below. I read every one. Your story might help someone else too. If you learned something valuable today, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.